Actionetics, the way I think about it, it's like you go to gas station and they serve food. You don't want to buy food from gas station, but they serve it because in case you want it. So it's actually like
Welcome to the Digital Marketing Secrets Show with Carlos A. Vasquez, where we share actionable strategies and tactics to grow businesses, no matter what industry you're in. Now your host, Carlos A. Vasquez.
What's up, my brother?
hey,
Dude, we've been working together since 2015. Was it 2015 or 2016?
I believe, yeah, it's between 2015 and 2016. Yeah, it's been more than 3 years, of course.
Yeah, and every time we talk about it, I say it over and over again. 1 year on the internet is like 7 years in real life.
Yeah, especially in this field of digital marketing, because stuff they are going really fast. You feel like after 3 months, no, I didn't do that. This is stupid.
And man, and I stumbled upon you. I think I found you right when you were starting in this whole like digital marketing, like marketing automation side of things, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was like my first 3 months on Upwork,
Yeah.
and I wanted to be inside this gray area between digital marketing and programming. So yeah, it was like my first experience in this field.
And so you learn ClickFunnels working with me, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And now you're just a beast. You're a monster. You know JavaScript, and with all your programming background, and then you saw ClickFunnels, and it's like it's just like a landing page builder. It's a landing page builder, but it just does things in its own way. But it's very friendly when it comes to JavaScript. So you were able to hit the ground running, and you picked up on it really quickly. So, which is why you're still on board, because I mean ClickFunnels is the software we prefer to use, and one of the reasons why I've always loved working with you is that you have learned to work with my ADD, so you've gotten used to me throwing things at you, and you
Yeah.
go with it.
And yeah, I love it. I like the way we work because I like to try new stuff. And if you want to try new stuff, you have to be quick. Like you cannot just spend a month. Give me a month until I learn a new software and I'll be back to you. No, you have 2 hours. Go and figure it out.
Right,
If you
man.
cannot do it, then you are not good enough for this field.
No, absolutely, because it's like back then WordPress was like the thing. And I'm talking about like the early 2000s. No, actually, no, I'm lying. I think back then, early 2000s, it was a thing called it was Mambo, and then PHP Nuke, and then WordPress took over, and then WordPress became like the number one content management system. And now, even to this day, it's still pretty good, but it's very buggy. If you install a plugin, it could break the entire site. So it was just too much. And well, now digital marketing, it's gotten to the point where now funnel pages are easy to build. Now you got marketing automation. So I know that I've thrown so many different things at you that you found your little softwares that you're comfortable with. So what I wanted to do with this specific episode was, for one, I want everyone to learn more about you, because you're my right-hand man when it comes to implementation. Like everything I know you know, and more, because you actually know the programming stuff. And then when I throw things at you, you welcome it. So it's like you absorb it, and then you'll tell me, "Hey, Carlos, this is not that good. It's not working." So I wanted people to kind of just get a feel for someone that understands marketing and implementation at the same time. So that way, whenever they're making their decisions, this isn't going to be a ClickFunnels show where we're here to sell ClickFunnels. We're going to tell you what we love, what we don't love, and what we recommend for anyone starting out. So, are you ready, bro? Are you good to go?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
All right. So first thing is first. When I introduce you to my potential customers, I brag about how you learned all the bad words from watching Narcos on Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the first thing whenever you want to learn a new language, it's to learn how to curse. I think that's the rule, and because Spanish, like, it's my fourth language, so yeah, I'm used to this environment, and Narcos was like the best teacher for this.
hold on a second. 4 languages. Okay, so
Yeah.
wait, let me write this down. So what are the languages you know?
My native language is Arabic,
Arabic,
and
okay.
I speak Turkish and English,
Okay.
and Spanish I learned a little bit. And once in once in a time, I was like I learned Japanese. I learned Japanese like mid-level. I was speaking Japanese for real because I wanted to go to Japan, but then plan changed, and now I forgot everything about
Okay, so I just crossed Japanese off. Okay, let me
it.
let me take a Japanese. So you speak Arabic, Turkish, English, and Spanish, and right now you live in Turkey, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So got it. And I know that whenever I work with someone, people are always a little hesitant working with people overseas because there's so much of a cultural difference. There's so much of a language barrier, and I mean, you speak 4 languages, so I guess that helps out, man. So you live in Turkey and you're Syrian, right? You're from
Yes.
Syria.
I'm from Syria. I'm originally from Syria.
Okay. Well, you know what? I call you Jake, but your real name is it's Hamil, right? Akkad.
Jamil. Jamil.
Jamil. Well,
Yeah.
that's the Latino in me. Hamil.
Yes,
And
Hamil.
the
That
Spanish,
works.
the letter J is like the sound. It sounds like H for us in the
Yeah.
Spanish community. So it's funny because whenever you send a text and you say ha 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 in English, you write H-A-A-H-A-H-A,
Yeah.
whatever. In Spanish, they write J-A-J-A-J-A.
Yeah, right, right. I have Spanish friends and they always ja 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 ja.
Yeah. My English buddies, we laugh at our Spanish family members because we go, what the heck is ja 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 ja? All right, so in short, instead of calling you Jamil Akai, we just call you. You said you wanted us to call you Jake, so which is
Yes.
why we call you Jake, man. So, I've brought you on as you're basically the implementation director because anything you say when it comes to automations, I really depend on you because you've already proven to me you know what you're doing, and then you've already proven to me that you if I throw something at you, you will give it 100% effort to make it work. And if it doesn't, you'll be like, hey, Carlos, it just doesn't work. This is a portion that can, but if we're trying to make money with this or if we're trying to make sure that someone else is going to generate sales from it, this is just going to break the entire process. So implementation director, you're the guy we go to. And with that being said, you've already used what are the different landing page softwares you've already used in the past?
I have used a lot actually. Like, of course, whenever you mention any kind of websites, you start with WordPress and all the landing page creators they have infinite number of landing page creators in WordPress. Then you move on to more specific because people, yeah, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, they used WordPress, but now it comes very big to the way that people they cannot understand how WordPress works, and it's a lot for them. If they are just for digital marketing purposes, you need something more specific. So when you come to something more specific, you have ClickFunnels, you have like Builderall, you have
Lead pages.
Unbounce, lead pages, Unbounce. There are a lot, but people because of the word, I believe, because of the word click and the word funnels, this was like 20% of why ClickFunnels becomes popular. ClickFunnels always remember people with ClickBank, which is really popular, and the word funnel, which is used for the whole process or the strategy, it's also something really important. And one more thing is the community. The amount of people that are using ClickFunnels right now is huge, like comparing to the other softwares. The other softwares, they may have more features, some of them they may have better features, they may be cheaper, but because when you are going to buy something and you are going to invest in something like this, you don't want to change each 3 months or 6 months. Whenever you are doing something in digital marketing, you have to have your strategy for 1 year, maybe for 2 years. So whenever you want to invest in something, you want to know that this will work now and for 1 year, and whenever I need something, I can find the community that they can help me. I can find the support. I can find the experienced people, the bros, whenever I need a bro. But In other software, you may not have this. You may lack one thing or another.
Right.
So that's why ClickFunnels, I believe now it's the best when it comes to building digital marketing funnels.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I get it because look, ClickFunnels doesn't always have the best support. They really don't have the. In fact, I haven't really met any company like you got Infusionsoft, you've got ActiveCampaign, shoot, you even got Google. Like these companies, usually the support they're never always the best. It's always the community that really gives you the answers you're looking for. And you're a geek. You're literally a programmer. So when you have an issue, it's a pretty serious issue because you already know the basics of how to fix something. Hang on a second. You already know the basics of fixing something, but when you hit a wall, you need just support. It's like whenever I call support, let me tell you something. If I'm calling support, it's because I've already tried everything, right?
Yes.
But I'm not on your level. So I go to you for support. And then when you can't get support, that's a problem. So I get it. The community, it's not just the software you're getting. You're trying to buy into a community as well. Now, I mean, ClickFunnels has its problems. I personally don't like the load time of ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels takes so long to load. It has so much code on it. It's so annoying. But the community is solid. The building a funnel page, you can literally drag some stuff around, but then you can actually throw code in there too. So it's like, in my opinion, I feel like it's an easier canvas to get creative for a non-technical person and especially a technical person. So that's what I love about it. So, all right. So WordPress, that community is too big because you have all kinds of other people, right? And they don't know about funnels. They don't know about marketing. They just know about creating a website and making it look really, really beautiful, right? So what don't you like about WordPress for funnels?
WordPress is actually, whenever you speak about WordPress right now, it's like you're asking people, do you do programming? Like, yeah, I do programming, but programming right now, it's like 10 fields. Like you do programming for desktop, you do programming for mobile. So WordPress is the same. Whenever, if you want to develop something in WordPress, that means you have to find the one that works with WooCommerce, with digital marketing. So in order to find those specific people, it will be like hard for you, and the maintenance, it will be hard for you, because whenever you want to change something, don't do it. Wait. Let the programmer do it for you. There is a new plugin. You want to update a plugin. This plugin is not compatible with another plugin. This all headache. Whenever it comes to ClickFunnels, you don't need to worry about it. So that's why, if you want something that can last long time without having a team to support you, ClickFunnels is the way to go. WordPress, you can have something more powerful, of course, than ClickFunnels. You have like infinite number of features that you can add, but you need to have in-house team or like a contract with development company that they can support you really quick. As you said, sometimes you need support, and you know it for a fact because we have it all the time. Like one page is down, when it comes to ClickFunnels, you can fix it in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and if you cannot fix it, it will be like you will go to support, and at the resource would be the support. But when it comes to WordPress, there is no support, and sometimes it will take a day to fix something.
Right. Yeah. You can find a bunch of people on Upwork or on Fiverr that can do something with WordPress, but just the process to find someone that you can trust is already long. And then let's say you do find someone that you can trust over and over again. It's never usually an isolated problem. It's usually a problem that you have to uncover, look through the back end. You have to go through the code. You have to disable each plugin one at a time to see. It's just a long and crazy process.
Yeah, it's always number one in the, like, whenever you want to do a maintenance for a WordPress problem, disable all plugins. And if it's like online site, you cannot disable all plugins.
Right.
And if it's like e-commerce and you are generating money from this, it's gonna be a disaster. So
Right.
we will need to do that other ways. You have to have another site which is a staging site. So it's gonna be a long process for you.
Right, right. And then, so, all right, when it comes to WordPress, if you're building a website, most of the time you just go like on ThemeForest, you buy a beautiful theme, you install it on WordPress, and now the real work begins, because now you bought the theme to look one way, but now you have your content that either you don't have enough content or you don't have the right images. And then now it's like a whole different job to make it look like the actual theme, what you bought in the first place. So that's a ton of work. So already, when it comes to marketing, like if you're trying to generate email addresses and generate cash flow, that WordPress process is not going to make it any easier. In fact, all right, so the way I see WordPress, I like WordPress for just your regular site and maybe a blog engine, and that's about it. And you know what? I do use WooCommerce on our site, but not like funnels. It's more like it's a catalog of products, and there's no sales really involved. I'm just sending a link to an existing customer, so that way a subscription is going. But I don't really expect any cold sales to happen this way. That's what I use ClickFunnels for. But for primarily, WordPress is so it can look professional, and it's just a blog to attract a bunch of suspects into it. So that's how I see it. I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think we're using it the right way?
Yeah, exactly. Like you cannot WordPress, as you said, it's just for creating your website, your blog. You cannot compare WooCommerce and Shopify and Magento to ClickFunnels because they have different purposes. If you are just doing a funnel with 1 to 5 products, you don't need to set up a shop. You don't open a shop just for 5 products, and you don't do this the long process for this. Yeah, WooCommerce, when you have like 10 products, we always advise our clients, if you have more than 10 products and you want to sell them all at the same time, it's not like you are going to have a funnel, then you will have to have your own e-commerce website, which is either you choose Shopify, you choose WooCommerce, you choose Magento, because the amount of money and the amount of products that you have will be enough for you to spend that long time and that much money, because it's if it's more time, then it's more money. Everything can be doable in the programming, but is it efficient? This is always the question. Is it efficient, time-wise, money-wise, investment-wise, like future-wise? Is it sufficient, or is it appropriate for you now to do it? If yes, then you can go, for example, you can go bigger. But if it's not, you will stick with the smaller options, or you will stick with the smarter options when it comes to ClickFunnels.
Gotcha. You know what? All right. So what I think that if you, I personally like, as far as shopping sites, like e-commerce websites, I really do like Shopify because they got a great support system. They got a great community, and you can find some really beautiful themes and designs for it. But I like it more for like product, like physical product e-commerce, not for like digital products, because I think that for digital, you're wasting money on something. You could just use something like WooCommerce instead. WooCommerce, in my opinion, is more for the digital services. But if you're using that primarily for your sales, I think you're losing opportunity for sales, because funnels allow you to put a bump offer, an upsell, a downsell, and then you can create subscription. WooCommerce, they've tried, but it's not as good. Like people don't realize they need something until after the fact. It's better that you present the offer, or let me give you an example. So usually people buy a funnel for us. Right? They buy a prospect generation funnel, and that's basically a funnel that captures an email address and shows them a thank you page, right? But if you know they're going to need an appointment funnel, meaning now you're going to want to send them to a calendar booking, they're not going to know that until you tell them, hey, all right, you're going to need a booking page. You're going to need a booking page plus a prospect funnel if you want to set up an appointment. And if that was WooCommerce, they're not going to go there and add to cart everything they need. It's just too confusing. But a funnel, on the other hand, you buy the upsell. I mean, you buy the prospect funnel. The transaction goes through. And then the upsell says, hey, if you want to set up an appointment funnel as well, meaning you want to turn these people into appointments, click on yes, and we'll add this as well to the same experience. So that person is likely to buy that versus having to add it either through Shopify or through WooCommerce. So I think that you're missing out on money if you just use WooCommerce or Shopify if that's the kind of stuff you're trying to do. So, all right, so that crosses that off. So you agree with me that WordPress is not the best way for because of e-commerce. It's good
Yes.
for
Yeah, for small number of products, yeah, it's not the best way. Yeah, and one example for this, I always like to think about it like this. Imagine when you are going to create a small image or small cover background or whatever it is. You have the option to use something like Photoshop or Canva. A lot of the times, it's better to use Canva because it's easy, it's ready, we call it managed environment. You have the tools that you need without any extra tools, and you can do it really quick. If it's good for you, you can go crazy when you open Photoshop and you can do infinite number of things, but not all the time you need Photoshop, and not all the times you need WooCommerce, not all the times you need this big e-commerce because it's available, because it's free. Yeah, but it's not just about what you pay for it. It's about how much time, how much money you are going to put inside of it for the development.
Right. It's like getting the job done without having to do the unnecessary work. So
Yeah.
I agree. Like I know enough to use Photoshop for a bunch of stuff, but I just go to Canva because I'm like, why? Why do I need to do all that? It's all built into Canva. Their themes are already ready to go, and most of it's free. So it's like, what's the big deal? So okay, so WordPress, we're good to go. And I've used like some landing page builder. I use something called Profit Builder, Thrive Themes. I've used Optimize. What have you used for landing pages for WordPress? I want you to try to name as many as you can. I want to go ahead and try to put in there.
You have Elements, you have Divi themes, and of course now it's the trend to use WP Bakery or whatever they call it, the King Composer. Those are composers. Actually, they are much more like plugins and themes. Whenever you are creating a new theme, you will buy the license and you will put it inside your theme. So user, whenever he buys a new theme from you or new version, they can use it to create their own versions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those King Composer, WP Bakery, there are infinite number of those. Like as you said, Thrive themes, a lot of them, and they all do almost exactly the same thing. They are really great. They are, but to some limits. Like you can some of them they will like you cannot change the header and the footer sometimes. Some of them you can change them, but they are like clunky. You cannot move the elements really quick. You will feel, oh, I don't want this. I want to do this. Let me hire someone to do it for me. So all they have some problems with them. There is no one perfect builder for WordPress right now.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I gave up. I out of all of the page builders, we use WP Bakery for our like the design of the pages, but that's as far as it goes. We're not there to build funnels with that. It's just to move things around, and that's it. Like the theme itself is the design. Bakery just lets us build the stuff, and we're done with it. Like we're moving on, and that's it. And then when it comes to funnels, we completely go to a whole different platform, which is ClickFunnels. All right, so now let's talk about different platforms. Okay, so for landing page builders, obviously we use ClickFunnels. Okay, but I want to know who your other top two are after ClickFunnels. Or you know what, even if maybe you know you've been working with me for a while, so you're only working with ClickFunnels primarily because that's what I bring in. But if ClickFunnels is not your number one choice, what is your number one choice?
Right now, I can say Lead Pages. They are a good competitor to ClickFunnels. They have good features, but they lack the community, as I said. Like they lack the community, like they have in ClickFunnels. And Unbounce, maybe they will come next. Maybe they are better. As you said, we don't use like in the last times we don't usually use that much things other than ClickFunnels. We have just used it once here and once there. But I can say Lead Pages and Unbounce, they are like the best alternative for ClickFunnels. They are not really close to ClickFunnels.
So ClickFunnels is
Yeah,
Right?
the integration part in ClickFunnels is really powerful. Like you can integrate almost anything in just less than 5 minutes. This is the biggest thing when it comes to ClickFunnels.
Yeah. What I don't like about I agree with you. ClickFunnels is my favorite one. I think Unbounce loads the fastest. Lead Pages lets you build a lot more pages that are pretty. When I say Unbounce being faster, I'm talking about load time. Like it's not
Yeah.
as clunky. Um, but there's a clunky the last time I tried Unbounce, there was a clunky process to connect Active Campaign to it. It was like I don't even, it was just too bad. It was not even an easy integration. So I was like, oh, this is just the worst. Um, Lead Pages, I had to actually create in ClickFunnels. There's one funnel, and then you can create a page, and it's all still within that one funnel. Lead Pages, I basically had to create a whole. It was like this whole long row of pages, and there was one of them, two of them pertain to one funnel. So it was like confusing. It didn't organize everything for me.
Yes.
Is it still like that now? I don't know.
It's been some time for me to use it, but yeah, it has some weird infrastructure. For example, whenever you want to, for example, you have a form and you want to connect it to ActiveCampaign, in ClickFunnels, the connection is just in the menu. Wherever you put the form, at the end of the day, you can connect it from the menu. You can connect it from here. But in Lead Pages, if it's the same right now, I haven't used it for a long time right now. So whenever you want to connect it, you will have to go to the button. You will want to open it. Then you go to some kind of settings, and in the settings you will see integrations. So it's confusing. Like if you have multiple buttons, you have to do it more than one time. So yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
they have few things. Sometimes they want to be different from ClickFunnels, so they overdo it. And overdoing it in digital marketing is one of the biggest problems.
Yeah. Yeah. They want to be so different, and it's annoying. And then you know what I don't like about Lead Pages and Unbounce is that they don't. I don't know if it's still the same now, but there's no way to set up a sales funnel in there like with Stripe. Like there's no sales funnel portion, so you only can collect the email address, set up an appointment system, but the only payment options you have is by putting a PayPal button in there, and that was it. Like Unbounce, a lot of people end up using something like Samcart, which is a whole separate system.
Yeah.
I love the fact that ClickFunnels, you could create stuff that generates email addresses, registers people for a webinar, books appointments, get the sales, gets upsells, gets bump offers, and you can deliver information products all still within ClickFunnels. And at the $97 package, which it's kind of expensive compared to everyone else, but if you're really using ClickFunnels the way that it's meant to, $97 is nothing. Plus, it has an affiliate program that you end up just getting it for free, essentially. So that's the reason why I really don't like using Lead Pages and Unbounce, because the integration is clunky. It's too hard to do. And then at that, you can't even make money off of it to make up for the monthly price you're spending. So,
Yeah.
but I keep hearing about Builderall. Like I see Builderall everywhere. So either they have one heck of a affiliate program and everyone's pushing it hard. I've never used Builderall. Have you ever used it?
I didn't use it for our project, to be honest, so I cannot give a good review about it.
Gotcha.
But I have just played with it. Like, whenever there is a new software, we like to just test it.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
you cannot judge it. You cannot judge it until you do a full project, because you will figure out what is wrong and what is missing.
Right. No, you're right. So it's like we're willing to try things out. Like we tried 10-minute funnels, which was another one. We tried Igloo, right? That was Igloo.
Yeah.
We tried what's that one, that last one, Landingi. We tried that one.
Oh yeah, landing. It has a big issue, which is that you cannot align stuff easily. So you have like to just check if is it aligned or not. Like not like ClickFunnels, because it's good. They meant to do a good thing that you can move the elements wherever you want, but there is no aligning technique like Photoshop. You have guiding lines.
Right.
So it can be a mess at the end.
They have a snapping feature, so that way you could try to align it, but then it's never it could be off by a pixel or a few pixels.
Yes.
It drives you insane. And then the mobile version is like a whole different like disaster. I'm like, oh, you know what? Let's just go back to ClickFunnels. Like every something they want to give you too much control, and then you can't even.
Yeah, overdoing it. Also overdoing it one more time.
All right. Okay. So landing page software, ClickFunnels for the win. WordPress is more for blogs. And then now let's talk about last thing. That's the marketing automation side of things. All right. And we've used a few. We've used a few, and we primarily the order that I see that I personally love for the business is ActiveCampaign is number one. Not only because it's powerful, but because the price is not high compared to everyone else. Like literally, their lowest package is $15 a month, and you get all of this power. And I'm talking about the latest price increase. I'm doing $15 a month because you have to. If you don't do the annual plan, it's $15 a month, which is still nothing. It's whatever. And then the next one would be Infusionsoft, or now it's what's it called? It's called Keap, Keap.
Yeah, Keap.
And they're I don't know if you notice this, but if you look at the ActiveCampaign colors and look at the Keap colors and the logo, it's like Infusionsoft is kind of copying ActiveCampaign. I don't know if you ever noticed that one. Take a look.
Yes, yes.
The colors are really
they have done something, yeah. They wanted to do some kind of rebranding, but in a weird way. But
so, all right.
Whenever you enter the site, it's still Infusionsoft. So they are just in like transition phase, if we can call it like this.
And they're trying to, because back then it was really complicated. I don't know if you ever had a chance to play with the old Infusionsoft. Like, did you ever? I'm talking about like right before you started working with me. Like, did you ever try those that old version? You ever seen it in action?
Yes, I have done it once. And until now, Infusionsoft is confusing because Infusionsoft, the way they think that they are a full CRM, not like ActiveCampaign. So they are distant themselves and the system from other softwares. So whenever you want to integrate it to other softwares, you will have endless number of errors and problems. Not like ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign, we are just an automation service, and we have infinite number of integrations. Whatever you are using, you can use us.
Gotcha. Now, what Infusionsoft has that ActiveCampaign doesn't is that you can put the payment gateway inside of it, which is cool. Not the worst thing in the world. And I wish ActiveCampaign, and if ActiveCampaign does it, oh my God, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be in heaven. But I remember the builder, like when I first started trying to figure out Infusionsoft, just trying to move the canvas, just to move it. I was like, how do you move this thing? I can't drag. Oh, you have to press the control key on the keyboard and then move your mouse. I was like, really? Like, this is stupid. But I got used to it, whatever. And then I like the connection. I do like the connection aspect. Like, you can actually plan out the automation first and then make all the connections and whatever. But then you got to go into the details of it. And now it's like, okay, now it's a little bit, it's not as easy. And then you can't link directly to these things either. Not like ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign gives you a link for the entire automation and each element, except the delay timers or whatever. But like the emails, it's really the emails. They're linkable. Like, you can actually link to the email inside of like a blueprint, so that way people could see the blueprint. So, what other softwares have we tried that we just said, yeah, I don't want to deal with this anymore?
We have tried bunch. We have tried, of course, the famous MailChimp.
Oh my God, MailChimp.
Yeah,
MailChimp.
We have tried GetResponse. We have tried Aweber. Aweber, the favorite for Shopify people because it's really friend.
Because when you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah. So
Entreport. I know I've played with Entreport, and I don't want to go through that route.
I didn't try it. No.
The only thing I know that Entreport does that was really good was a lot of subscription. I'm sorry, a lot of supplement related industries like the powders for like shakes or whatever. Um, there are certain merchant services that will work with that, and Entreport happens to work with like a bunch of those, and that was good. But other than that, I was like, why? It's expensive. You have to do all this stuff, and it was just too much. What was another one? Um, Drip. You know what? I played with Drip for a little bit. That's like an Active Campaign wannabe. Have you tried that one, Drip?
I've tried it once, yeah, but just for testing.
Yeah, I was like a whole new another language. All right, what was another one? There's another one I wanted to say. Actionetics. I love ClickFunnels, but
Yeah, actually, it's not my favorite at all. You know that.
Actionetics, man. Actionetics, in my opinion, is like a Mailchimp on steroids, almost. Because
Actually, the way I think about it, it's like you go to gas station and they serve food. You don't want to buy food from gas station, but they serve it because in case you want it. So it's actually like this.
that's hilarious. Because hey, in case you want it, we got hot dogs. You want it?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. It's I don't know if you ever seen a Chris Rock stand up. He talks about a strip club. They have strip clubs over there, and then they serve wings and steak at a strip club. It's like, you know what? I'm not gonna come here and eat steak and wings at a strip club. It's just why.
Yeah. So it's exactly like this. So
That's
if you want
hilarious.
to do your emails inside ClickFunnels, yeah, you can use Actionetics, but no, don't do it.
All right. I'll tell you one of the reasons why I don't like it, and maybe you could come up with one too. So one of the features I love about Active Campaign is that you get the tracker. Okay. And the tracker could be installed on any website you have full control access to. So if you have your funnels in ClickFunnels and you have your regular website in WordPress, and you can have the tracker on both ClickFunnels and WordPress. If somebody goes to your pricing page and you already have their email address and you want to send them an email to kind of follow up on whatever, Active Campaign could send out an automation sequence for that because Active Campaign knows. ClickFunnels has no ability to do that other than the fact, unless it happens inside of the funnel, like you really can't do much. You can't do much automation unless it happens inside of the funnel. So that's one of the things that I don't like about it. So if you're sending out emails based off of behavior on website visits, Actionetics will not do anything that's not inside of ClickFunnels. That's one reason I don't like it. What else? Let's see.
It doesn't have those extra elements that you have in Active Campaign that you can use. For example, I want to use deal here, or I want to use trigger. For example, a custom field that is a trigger, a custom field that is a goal. There is no goal method in ClickFunnels, so you have to come up with some kind of loops to stop the emails, and you have to come up with some loops to do some kind of delay, and the delay will be like based on the previous email, not on the user action. But when it comes to emails, you want everything to be the trigger, and the goal would be the user action, not what you are sending, but what they are doing. So yeah, it lacks a lot of things. It's just a complementary for ClickFunnels, and the idea that they are relying on SMTP server and like a third-party SMTP server, it's not good. Like
Right.
if you have any problems with your SendGrid or whatever you are using, Mailgun or whatever you are using, then the emails will not be fired. This is just not right, because you are using it to send your email. So why they are asking you to subscribe to another SMTP server?
Right. So like when you get Actionetics, you actually also have to get a sending mail service, and those sending mail services is a whole separate subscription, and that's annoying. And then you know what? I like the fact that you said that you have a trigger and you have a goal. Actionetics can technically do it, but because we know programming and we know the little tricks with the tags and stuff, we can figure it out. And then even then, it's like, okay, what's the best way to do this? With this, we got this smart trigger, we have the smart list, we've got these tags. Like we can figure it out, and that process alone is like, oh my god, I have to think of an idea. And then, unfortunately, when you're in a situation like that, you actually have to think ahead too. But what happens if this happens? And that means that we could get a false positive. I'll give you an example we had recently with a client. She's using Kajabi for her membership site, right?
Yeah.
And Kajabi, in order for Kajabi sale to be recognized with ActiveCampaign, we had to have a notification sent to ActiveCampaign. So since we're always crushing out these funnels pretty quickly, we have our like streamlined process. But when you throw in a new software, now we have to constantly think of, okay, how does this communicate with this? How does this communicate with that? But you're talking about multiple software. It's normal. But if you're talking about the same software, ClickFunnels inside of ActionAlytics, like, oh my God, now I have to think about stuff inside of ClickFunnels. You basically have to be a cynic. You have to think negative. Okay, what if it breaks? What if it breaks? What are we going to do here? Because we're talking about money here. So
Yes.
ActionAlytics is just another one of those. You constantly have to, when you start creating new ways to do something, you're opening the door up to a bunch of other stuff, other accidents, other mishaps. And then who's the one that looks like an idiot? We are.
Yeah, exactly. And emails, they are always more dangerous than landing page, because in landing page, if you screwed up, 1 user, 5 users, they will see it. You can fix it, and you can then tell them they can revisit. But in emails, sometimes you are going to do a campaign or new automation. If there is one error and you fire the campaign, it may goes to 100 people, 1,000 people, and then what you are going to say, you are going to apologize with a new email that they might not open at all.
Right. And then now you also hurt your deliverability, because now you're probably spamming. The system will see you as spamming at that point. It's annoying. So that's why I don't like. Well, I don't like to depend on ActionAlytics at all. The only thing I like, it's not even ActionAlytics, it's just a basic ClickFunnels feature, is when a purchase has occurred, I want the welcome message of the purchase. Hey, congratulations, here you go. That's as far as I want to take it. But having campaigns.
Yeah. Those are the transactional emails. You can use ClickFunnels for them, because they are just complementary content. They are not the vital content that you are selling stuff. So you can rely on ClickFunnels for in those, but your main automations, no, don't do it.
Gotcha. Yep, I'm with you, man. So okay, we're on the same page, and then I don't want to really talk too much about this, but I could definitely just throw it in there. I just threw on you a new role, and that's the creation of Facebook custom audiences and pixels, and because it's well within your house. You don't need to worry about strategy.
Yeah.
You just need to know create an audience based off of people landing on this page who didn't land on this page, and that's something there. Now, how do you feel about Facebook in that aspect of it?
Actually, Facebook was my biggest challenge, because I didn't touch it, and for some reason, I didn't try to touch it. Usually, whenever there is something new, you know me, like I want to be in and try something, even if it's not my role. Facebook was something that I didn't think about trying it, and it didn't come to the time that I have tried it, until the time when you asked me, do it. Then yeah, it's not like something out of the box. You can do it. If you put the time, eventually you can learn everything. If you have the time to put it, because it's our field, we can learn everything.
Yeah, and you know what? And the area that I threw on you was basically stuff that you're already doing. You do it with Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics. So it wasn't. It's not like you're doing strategy right then and there. You're actually just doing implementation. Okay, if people land on this page but not this page, I want you to call it this audience. So it's pretty straightforward for a geek like us. Yeah. But anyone else, just that alone is the power of funnels, because a funnel has, let's say, an opt-in page and a thank you page. So we already know that if you land on an opt-in page and you land on a thank you page, it's because you put in your information at the opt-in page. So we already know that as far as funnels are concerned. So Facebook says, okay, if they land on the opt-in page and they land on the thank you page, let's go ahead and say these are new subscribers. Like this is the logic behind funnels. If you use a system that it doesn't take a person to separate pages, you're not able to create these audiences. So let's say, for example, they land on a shopping cart page, but they don't land on a purchase confirmation page. They went ahead to start the order, but they didn't finish. So now we got to create an audience that says abandoned cart. So that's the power of the whole funnel concept. And that's why I love throwing things at you, because you've already been doing this long enough to make the connection at that point. So, all right, man. I think that's it for now, bro, because I think we could talk about this for hours. And you know me, I have an AppSumo addiction, or I'm always buying lifetime deals, which, by the way, I got a new automation software. As of right now, I haven't thrown it on you yet because it's a game for me. But the latest one's called Snovio. All right.
Okay. So maybe next episode we will talk about it. It will take active campaign position.
Dude, that's a great idea, man. You know what? We should have like a little session to go over these AppSumo deals and just to kind of just dissect them. Dude, you just gave me a whole little new segment for a show, man. Awesome. So, we should probably talk about Snovio next. We should have like an episode where we go ahead, we buy it. No. I got the idea. And whoever's watching this, we are going to buy. First, before we buy it, we're going to talk about why we're going to buy it. And then we're going to buy it. And then we're going to actually start playing with it in real world use. And then use that video to basically expose it to everyone else. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's awesome. And we can compare it to the standards or the benchmark, which is, in our case, Active Campaign.
Dude, that's a great idea. And now you and I have even more time we're going to be spending together. So
that's awesome.
It's going to be fun, bro. All right, man. So if anybody wants to reach out to you, man, how can they reach out to you, man?
Of course, my email and Twitter. I'm available on Twitter. My email
what's your username on Twitter?
My Twitter is jake.akkad.
So that's jake.akkad.
Yes, exactly.
All right, good to go. And then you got Jake at MiamiMarketer.com. Yeah. And whenever someone works with you, really quickly, if you are reaching out to them, it's probably because it's pretty because usually Charlene's the one that works directly with the client. Okay.
Yes.
And you're the one that's behind the scenes and you take care of the heavy lifting. But if you are actually reaching out to them, it's because you probably need a fast response. Like, for example, like authentication, like, Google has a 2-step authentication.
Yes.
So it's not because you're just there to bother them. It's because, hey, at this point, we need interaction directly. But for the most part, you're really behind the scenes.
I'm the ghost.
You are the puppet master, and no one's really seeing you do all that work.
The White Walker.
All right, my brother. Thank you so much, man. And we're going to talk in a bit.
Thank you for having me.
You got it, man.
Thanks for listening to the Digital Marketing Secrets Show with Carlos A. Vasquez. Want to join the exclusive digital marketing community? Of course you do. Make sure to visit us at MiamiMarketer.com/growth for more info. See you soon.